Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Gemini, we're going to get into the Doggy Wisdom Oracle deck, followed by the Energy Oracle deck and the Teeny Tiny Tarot. We're going to ask who you really are, how others perceive you, what others get wrong about you, and how this affects you in relationships. There is a link in the description if you would like a private reading with me. I do have a link down there, so you can follow that link and get all the information and get yourself in line for private reading if you would like one. And if we could do our little energy exchange, Gemini, that'd be so greatly appreciated. Even if it's a like, maybe it's a teeny tiny comment. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you, Gems. All right. Who you really are. You are forgiveness. You're very Why do I feel like you've pulled this card out before? You are forgiveness. You are very forgiving. You're very forgivable. Say that too. How others actually perceive you as wise. Very wise. Very smart. You're very wise. So you are forgiveness and you're very wise. That's interesting. What others get wrong about you. Teamwork. Maybe if you want to work together or not on this. On anything. Teamwork. They get teamwork wrong about you. This is not teamwork. This is all Gemini. How this affects you in relationships. Sadness. So you are sad. You are sad. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this teamwork, maybe you don't want to work on your own. Companionships at the bottom. Lonelyship, companionship. Lonelyship. Loneliness, companionship. That's interesting. It could even be going from a stage here where you kind of feel like you don't belong, you don't fit in with anyone, and then you find somebody that you fit in with. Now, this is also interesting though too, because this looks like this little guy, right? Like he's a golden retriever, and these are, I believe they're Cocker Spaniels. So these two Cocker Spaniels have found each other, and this little golden retriever is sitting over here like, I don't got nobody. Like looking at the Cocker Spaniels and feeling left out. It just looks like the way that's in there. Does he look like he feels left out? Poor little thing. I want to adopt all the dogs in this deck. Oh. Okay, forgiveness is who you really are. People think you're wise. Perception. I don't know. Gemini is usually pretty smart. So, okay. You are forgiveness. Anxiety. Forgiveness, anxiety. Wow. You know what? I want to say this. If you feel like you've done someone wrong, that doesn't sit well with you. Like you want to make amends, you want to make it right. That's who you are. You might even be worried about, oh man, you know what? I feel like that didn't go well between me and this person. I want to make sure everything is okay. Like you are the person that wants to mend things. Like when you feel like, you know what? Yeah, no, that's on me. Like I want to say you take some type of personal responsibility for, you know, anytime you feel like you've done something wrong to somebody. Yeah, you're the first one to say, yeah, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry. Didn't mean that to happen that way. That's who you are. Although there could be even something here that you might be worried about. Is this even forgivable? Like, I don't know, maybe somebody out there did something really bad and you could be worried that, is this even something that I could be forgiven? Could I be forgiven for doing this? People think you're really smart. Say that. People see you as really smart. The journey. You're on the journey of wisdom. Maybe getting there. You're on the journey of wisdom. So you're getting there. You're getting there. People see you as getting smart. That's interesting. They may also see that you have a lot of knowledge about moving and relocating. I don't know what that is. Like maybe you move a lot. Maybe you relocate a lot. Maybe you do. I'm picturing somebody, you know, like when you phone the movers. I've done that enough times. When you phone the movers and the person who answers, they know all the questions, like the person who answers the phone, I don't know if that's like a dispatcher or a sales rep or what that would be on the other side of the phone. It's like you have all the knowledge about what's needed in terms of traveling, relocating, exciting and inspiring adventures. You could be like, oh, what's the term for that? That's, you know, somebody who books trips and things like that too. What is that called? How have I really like gone blank on that? A travel agent. Like you could be a travel agent. Or you've been to some places here and you know a lot about these places. That's very fascinating. People could even think that you're on some type of a journey, or you're traveling, or you're visiting places to increase your wisdom about the world, your wisdom about different cultures. That's fascinating. Yeah. People perceive you as on, I don't know, just exciting and inspiring adventures. What people get wrong about you is teamwork. These three are cute. Okay. Confidence. Oh, interesting. Confidence and teamwork. What they get wrong about you. I don't know. So I feel like there's something here where you don't feel confident that other people can carry the weight that is required of them to be carried. Or you may not feel confident when you're working in a group. You may feel more like you're better independent here. Teamwork may not be the thing that drives your confidence. Sadness. How this affects your relationship? Sadness. Happy family sadness. Sadness in relationships here. Yeah, something going on. Who you really are. I don't know. I'm wondering if you are worried about some type of forgiveness here. Or you could be really stressing over, maybe somebody has asked you to forgive them. And you could be like kind of stressing out about it. Like, I don't know if I should really do this. I don't know. Yeah, there's an awful lot of thought, like anxious kind of thought, overthinking about forgiveness here. What others get wrong about you. Teamwork, confidence. Victory is at the bottom. So there's some sort of personal achievement. Companionship? Companionship. I don't know. These are both your final on their own underline cards. So companionship, victory. Something was victorious in the past here with a companion, or, you know, it's really interesting. Like, yeah, we have a lot of matching here. See, these two, they look like they're from the same breed. They look like they could be little bulldogs or something. I don't know what they are, but they're cute. They're from the same breed. These two are all from the same breed. They're all shepherds. And these look like little corgis. Oh my God, those things are so cute. And then look at this guy's all on his own with happy family. And he's different from all the other dogs. And even these two are the same. And this loneliness dog also almost looks like these two, but isn't, right? Just the way he's looking at these ones, I feel like these two are best friends, and this one, he can't be friends. So sad. I get so emotional using the doggy deck. I swear to God. Can't. I don't know. It's terrible. Okay. Forgiveness. Who you really are. Forgiveness. The devil. The devil? Temperance and the Page of Pentacles. Well, that's a forgiveness that feels like it takes a bit of time. That's a forgiveness that feels like it takes a bit of time here. Oh. And what's the anxiety? And it's something bad. I mean, that's with the devil. That's bad. The Ace of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, who you are. You're anxious about some type of truth here. You're anxious about, like, it feels like to me like this family energy, where you're sad in this family energy. There's some type of truth here that you're really worried about that has to do with family. It really has you overthinking it. I'm wondering if this is connected. Whose was it? Was it Pisces? I feel like it's Pisces reading. This is somehow connected. It feels not, well, maybe it is connected. Maybe it is connected. But it feels sort of similar. It's almost like somebody's worried about a family here. Somebody's worried about a family or the truth about a family. And forgiveness about this. That takes time. Something that is unfolding. People perceive you as on a wise journey. So you're like all anxious and overthinking. People are like, no, you're very wise. Okay, wisdom. What's this wisdom people think you have? Look at the Chariot, the movement, the Chariot and the Page of Swords. You're very wise. You're very wise. And I want to say like where your heart takes you, where your emotions motivate you. And as you learn from that, people don't think you're in your head nearly as much as you are. Well, I think, well, Gemini, your tarot cards are 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. Lucky you. So, but I want to say that I feel like Geminis are just naturally like in that mental state all the time, and they can like mask it. They're like, yeah, everything's cool, and you'd be like, totally like in your head like, journey. How others actually perceive you. 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. That feels, I'm gonna say, that feels like somebody who's really confident about where they're going and what they're building. You're on the journey towards, I don't know, something good, something big. Oh, because that's interesting, what others get wrong about you. See, this is like the 3 of Pentacles. It's collaborating, teamwork. You're not confident in some type of teamwork here. That I get. I don't think you are. I don't think you're confident in some type of teamwork. People see you as, yes. Very good. Very good. Way to mask it, Gemini. Honestly, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Like, I don't know, wherever you're going, maybe you've gone to a better place than where you were before, whatever that means. Maybe that's a home, maybe that's a workspace. Yeah, you know who to build with. You're building with the right things here. But what they get wrong about you is your confidence in teamwork. Okay, it could also be, like, we look at forgiveness. Forgiveness requires 2 people. And for it to be successful, it would require 2 people to work together on that, right? So if somebody has done something wrong, and then the person who's done something wrong apologizes, and then the person who feels wronged accepts that apology, that would be teamwork, right? So what people get wrong about you is your confidence in this teamwork. So I don't know, either you feel like you've done something wrong here and you're worried about being forgiven for it, or somebody's done you wrong, and maybe they've asked for forgiveness and you're really thinking about it and you're like, I don't know. I really don't know. So you don't have confidence in this teamwork is what I'm feeling, right? That's what, okay. So the teamwork, what's it about? Let's see what the tarot cards say. The 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands. Oh, the 2 of Wands and the High Priestess. I thought just the High Priestess came off my hand, but it was 2 cards. The 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the High Priestess. It's like having the same intention and desire and hope for something in the future here. Teamwork in building something together. I don't think you have the confidence in that, like, because that's what people get wrong about you. That you and someone else are interested in building the same thing here. Oh, the Moon and the 3 of Swords. Yeah, no. You do not. You got a lot of conflict going on here between your heart and your mind. And it's funny because, okay, people perceive you as your heart being wise. I'm going to say that. Like, if you follow your heart, that's a wise thing to do. Follow your heart, that's a wise thing to do. And What are your desires and your hopes and your ideas here for the future? People see that, that's smart. That's on target, or they think that is for you. But really, you're anxious. You're overthinking. You're thinking too much. It's such a Gemini reading, isn't it? You're thinking too much. At least, well, that's what you're the Nine of Swords. You're 8, 9, and 10. As I said, you get to have that in the tarot. You're just as lucky as Capricorn with the devil, right? So what others get wrong about you is, yeah, your mind, I feel like your mind can really override your feelings here. You're not feeling very confident about something. You're worried about maybe the things that you don't know, which again is a thought thing, like the things you don't know. So how this affects your relationships, you're sad. You have sadness in happy family. Sadness. Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. That honestly feels like some type of forgiveness. It feels like, doing some type of emotional healing, being closed off, maybe being closed off to do that. And then, hope and forgiveness here. Like the Page of Cups is my olive branch energy. You could be sad because, I don't know. I mean, even if somebody wants you to forgive them, like if that's the story here for you, it doesn't change your feelings, right? Like you can intellectualize it and say, okay, well, it makes sense to, but isn't that? Can forgiveness just be an intellectual process? I feel like forgiveness goes beyond the intellect. Forgiveness has to be something that is emotional too, for it to really happen. Maybe that's why you have this anxiety. You're like, I don't know if I can step in that direction emotionally. Right? I think, yeah, that's what I think anyway. You tell me what you think. But I think forgiveness goes beyond just intellect here. Because you could learn facts about something, right? Or you could process something to, the furthest extent of processing it. And one could say, okay, yeah, the logical thing here is to forgive. The logical thing here is to forgive. But there's something going on here about emotionally. So happy family. What's with the happy family? That's the thing that you're worried about. The Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. Okay. How does it affect you in relationships? Well, I don't know. It looks like you end up having to be on your own. Like not in a not in a relationship. And having to heal sadness. This is how this affects you. How you're affected in relationships. Okay, you don't have the confidence, or you found yourself in relationships where you don't have the confidence here that you and someone else or other people have the same maybe emotional and sort of mindful plan for wherever life is going here, right? And people get this wrong about you, where something can't, I want to say there's something going on here where it can't just logically make sense to you. It also has to serve an emotional need, or the emotional truth must also exist, must also be considered. You're actually coming off like that, one of my favorite cards, the Engineer card. I talk about him all the time. I don't know, I talk about him all the time. He comes up in so many of the readings. The Engineer in the Archetype deck in the light. This is someone who comes up with a mechanistic solution while also considering emotional needs. And there's something about that here. In this reading, you are really tied up in the intellectual part of it right now, which I probably wouldn't expect much less from Gemini. And I hope that didn't come off like insulting. I mean, like, no, it's good. You think about things. You take the time to think about, because, I can do a reading too, and somebody is totally caught up in their emotions, and their emotions are making their decisions for them. And those emotions may not be true to what the situation is. So, right? Like, yeah, people see you as really smart though. And whatever whatever you're doing, wherever you're taking yourself, they also see you, okay, I want to say they also see you as following your heart. And when you follow your heart, your mind learns. Like, that's another thing that's very interesting, how people view you. But I see you here as needing to heal some type of sadness, needing to perhaps even like be emotionally detached to heal. To go from the Queen of Pentacles to the Nine is definitely, that to me is somebody who's coming out of a relationship, especially with the Family card. Coming out of a relationship. And the Eight of Cups is not having any emotional, that's emotionally detached. That's emotionally detached. But then you get the Ace of Cups, right? This is almost like trying to feel better. Like taking the time to feel better. Maybe you've been emotionally detached with some people and you're worried, you're thinking, that wasn't right. I shouldn't have, I'm going to say I don't know, like based on this, with how things affect you, how you're affected in relationships, because this, look, to me, I would assume that this is probably something that someone would need time to heal, right? You would need to heal that. So if you were not available emotionally, you've asked for forgiveness. Because you have the Page of Cups. That feels like that's my forgiveness card. The Hermit's at the bottom. The Seven of Swords. Wow, the Seven of Swords. That is really somebody keeping to themselves. Really keeping to themselves, and probably even like keeping whatever they got going on in their life to themselves. What you learn about yourself, you might even keep that quiet. Oh, that's very interesting. I'm going to go do the extended Gemini. In the extended, I'm going to ask who they are. Now, who they are, I leave that up to Spirit. I'm going to ask who they really are, how you perceive them, what you get wrong about this person, and how this affects them in this situation. There are 2 options in the description below if you would like to follow me to the extended. Thank you so much, Gems. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.